Today we are going to gain knowledge about sectors of Indian economy, one of the chapter in class 10 CBSE. Economic activities are being classified into three types. One is primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary activity deals with the nature itself. The activities undertaken by directly using natural resources. It has something to do with the natural resources. For example, agriculture, mining, forestry, dairy industries are the very good example of primary sector. Over here, when we produce goods by exploiting natural resources, it is an activity of the primary sector. It is also called as agriculture because it has something relation with the nature as well. Now, after primary, the second sector is secondary sector. Whatever the raw material has been produced by primary industries that are to be transformed into the finished goods, and their finished goods by secondary sector. It covers the activity in which the natural products are changed into another forms through the way of manufacturing that we associate with industrial activity. It is the next step after the primary. Whatever the raw material has been produced by primary, these secondary industry will use it as raw material and then they will transform and make some finished goods out of it. Where the products is not produced by the nature but it has to be made, some process of manufacturing is essential. It could be a factory, a workshop or a home. Example over here, example has been given, the raw material of primary sector. Suppose a primary sector grows cotton and then they are selling that cotton to secondary industry and they are making cotton out of it, then it is called as secondary sector. Now, when I talk about tertiary sector, these are the activities that help in the development of primary and secondary sector. Most of all the tertiary sector activities are helping both these sector to bloom in a better way. These activities by themselves do not produce good, but they are in aid and support in the production process. They are helping in the production process. In short, they are having some or the other role. Example, transportation. Transportations are transportation. Goods that are produced in the primary sector need to be transported by trucks or train and then sold in the wholesale or retail shops. Storage. At times it is necessary to produce these products in the godown, which is also a service made available. Communication, banking, all this activity are called as auxiliary services and they are helping in trade. In short, they are helping in such a way that trade is carried out smoothly between both the parties. Now, when I talk about working conditions of the workers, then again it has been bifurcated in two parts. One is organized, the other one is unorganized. On the basis of ownership, if I talk, there is public sector and private sector. Public sector is run by government and private sector is run by an individual. Now, what is GDP? GDP is the value of final goods and services produced in each sector during a particular year provides the production of the sector for that year. It is the sum total of production of all the three sectors, but whatever has been produced by primary, secondary and tertiary, the addition of all this, it is called as gross domestic product. During a particular year, what has been produced in India, that is called as GDP. It is the value of the final goods and services produced within the country during a particular year. GDP shows how big the country is. Measuring GDP is undertaken by central government ministry with the help of various government departments and Indian states and union territories. Now please understand, GDP is used in many ways. That is, while calculating national income, you need to know what is GDP. It has even if I want to calculate per capita income, I need national income, but for national income I need GDP. So it is called as one of the yardsticks through which you can measure how the country is so far producing goods and services in an economy. Now, rising importance of tertiary in production. Now please understand, after independence, primary was only the organization sector which India had, but with the development and the passage of time, the tertiary industry has also gained importance. Over 30 years, between 1973 and 2003, the production in the tertiary sector has increased the most. It has emerged that the largest producing sector in India, replacing the primary sector. The people used to shift from primary to tertiary sector because the main drawback of primary sector is they do not provide employment throughout the year. Transition shows the level of the country development. It improves the specialization, but it's better to avoid extending service part in an economy over 40 to 50% of GDP. Each sector has role. I am not denying that primary sector has not gained interest and now only it would be replaced by tertiary. Each and every sector has a certain role to play in an economy. Now this shows that how the growth can be measured with the help of GDP. Please understand that economic growth is always measured with the help of GDP. GDP is the value of goods and services produced during a particular year in that country. Now, underemployment is a situation where you can see that employment is not made available to all the people in the India. It is a situation where people are apparently working, but all of them made to work less than their potential. Whatever the potential they are having, they are not using it to the full. If they have been used it to the full, then you can have maximum profit and maximum gain. If few people move out, it will not affect the production. It is the hidden in contracts to the open employment, where a person is clearly and visible without a job. See, open unemployment is a situation where a people is not able to get a job, whereas hidden or disguised unemployment is that the people is doing a certain kind of a job, but they are not doing any marginal productivity in the economy. This underemployment also helps in the other sector. For example, there are thousands of casual workers in service sector in the urban areas as painter, plumber, repair person, those who make punctures, etc. These are the places where more than the required the person are hired. Now, in spite of having unemployment in our economy, there are various steps which are taken by government to eradicate or to remove unemployment. NREGA is one of them. It was launched in 2005. It was started by central government. It was implemented, that is right to work, in 200 districts of India. All of these are in need of work and get guaranteed of 100 days of work. Even if they don't get it, the amount would be so far credited to their account. It is the work of the type which is further help to increase the production. Now, organized sector. When I talk about organized sectors are those sectors which have basically rules and regulations to be followed. It is registered with the government, and there are certain norms for appointment. You need to have even registered yourself. So that is called as organized sector. When I talk about unorganized sector, there are no rules and regulations so far. You might get job today and tomorrow you would be asked to leave. So characteristics by small and scattered units which are largely outside the control of government, over the government does not play any of the role. So there are lots of chances that they are getting exploited. There are rules and regulation, but these are not followed. Low paid jobs are not regular. See, the job is also not secured. There is no social security in the unorganized sector, and the wages or the remuneration paid is also very low. But when I talk about public sector, it is an organized sector which has rules and regulations framed by the government, and it is being followed very, very strictly. Provide facilitates to the workers like fixed unemployment, fixed working hours. The main aim is to provide public welfare. Example of public sector are Indian Railways, hospital, parks and library. These are the units which are run by government to provide a society a better place of living. Private sector, it is organized by private individual, does not provide any fixed employment and fixed working hours to the worker. The aim is to make many profit. Private sectors has the main aim to earn only and only profit. Profit is the concentrated area of private sector. Example of private sector are Birla, Reliance. These are the companies which are owned by private individuals. It has nothing to do with the government. As a result, it is called private sector. Thank you.